Hi, my name's Mark. I'm the inventor and developer of Mutation. This is my first Kickstarter project. I'm muddling my way through. And I thought I'd do this video and introduce myself and give you a little explanation about the project and the rewards that I'm offering. Really what I want to do is justify you backing the project. In other words, to convince you that it's worth $25 to get one of these. Well, the first question is, what is it? Well, in this project, I've portrayed it as a new three-dimensional board game, and surely it is, and a fine one. It's well made, it's attractive, and it's worth $25. But to me, actually, the right answer is it's a work of art. And like any work of art, the value of it's not in the object itself, but in the idea or the story behind it. For instance, the Mona Lisa. It's paint and canvas. What's that worth? Well, the idea behind the Mona Lisa, the story of the Mona Lisa is priceless. Well, this is my Mona Lisa, and so I thought I should tell the story. It's an object. It's physical art. It's mental art, but now it's going to be performance art. I am going to perform the explanation or the story behind this so that you can understand it and then realize the value of this. Now, this is Mutation. This is the brother or the father. It's called Code World. I decided to offer Mutation as the reward because it's easier to make, it's cheaper to make, and it's a better game, quite frankly. But you can see the essence of Mutation is embodied in Code World, but Code World actually has a better story. So I'm going to use Code World to tell the story, and without putting too fine a point on it, the story is this. This is an embodiment or a physical representation of the very first life form on Earth. In other words, it's the key piece in the puzzle of the origin of life on Earth. Now, surely that's worth $25, but it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to know it, and it's a completely different thing to understand it. And it's the understanding part that's been tough. When I first invented this, I thought all I had to do is put it in someone's hands. And it's so simple, it's so obvious, it's so correct, it's so important, it's so powerful that they would immediately get it or have the motivation to understand it. And I've been pretty much wrong across the board on that. I also thought that I deserved a Nobel Prize when I discovered this, and why not? I mean, like Watson and Crick, for example, what did they do? They discovered the shape of the double helix, and that's fabulous. You know, it's DNA. But that's the shape of the information that's stored on your hard drive. What I discovered was the shape of the processor, or more specifically, the language that processes the information on your hard drive. And I think that's harder to do, and I think that's more important in the long run. But what do I know? I don't have a Nobel, and they haven't contacted me, but we'll see. So the key here is that people aren't understanding it. It's probably because, like my wife says, I don't explain things very well. So I'm going to take another shot at it. I am going to make another shot at explaining in the simplest possible terms, in the best possible way. I've created these toys to help, and I am going to use this fabulous studio in the guest bedroom of my basement to basically explain in the simplest possible way the idea that this is the first life form on Earth. Now that I think about it, that actually may not be simple and obvious, and it may actually be harder than most of the classes I've ever taken in my life. So maybe I should approach this as a college class, and that's what I decided to do. And since no university so far is going to touch this, I had to set up my own university, which I'm going to call Mutation University. As one class explains life and explains Code World and explains the relationship between the two. And there's no tests. You don't need to be a genius to take this class or to understand it. We're going to go slow. We're going to explain it step by step. We're going to lay out all the dots, and then we're going to connect all the dots. And I think at the end of that, you will understand. It'll be worth it. It's going to take a while. I'm not sure how long because I haven't actually produced the class yet, but I'm working on it. And at the end of the day, you'll get a diploma. For $25, you'll get one of these. This will be the diploma from Mutation University. You'll be the first kid on your block to have one. And all you have to do is show it to the other kids and they'll immediately know how smart you are. So that's what we're going to do. And how we're going to do it, or the basic idea is simple. Life on Earth is a case of molecules doing math with molecules. Is that possible? Can molecules do math? Well, you and I are molecules, and we're doing math, so obviously it's possible. Okay, how? Well, how do we do math? The first thing we do when we do math is we make one of these. It's called a number line. Okay? This is the primordial form of math when we do math. We start with laws, the logical laws that then create the line then creates the math. So the first form is the logic that creates the line. The first embodiment is the line, and then that creates the math. Well, as luck would have it, this is a number line too. It's a little bit different than the number line that we're used to, but it is a number line. That's all it is. Just like we need a line to do math, molecules need a number line to do math. This is their number line. Therefore, it is the primordial form of the math that the molecules are doing. Before there were any math molecules, there was a form that set out the rules for them to do it, and this is it. When we do math, we use a line, and we think in terms of distance. When molecules do math, they think in units of shape. So it's like shapes or molecules using shapes to count shapes. And that's how they do it. And this is logically true, and it's empirically true. In other words, we can take the evidence that science gives us and map it onto this idea and see that they are wholly consistent and they build on each other. So in other words, we can use that as the starting point to ask more questions and get more answers. It's just the best place to start if you're trying to solve the puzzle of the origin of life on Earth, because this is the primordial form of life on Earth. How much fun is that? And surely that's worth $25. So that's what we're going to do with Mutation University. Thanks for your time, and thanks for supporting the project.